Since the first ever Batman serial was released all the way back in 1943, we've seen a whole host of actors don the famous cape and pointy ears in various films, defending Gotham City against a colourful assortment of compelling villains. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze was there as well. Some of these portrayals cemented an actor as a bona fide Hollywood superstar, such as Christian Bale's iconic iteration of Bruce Wayne / The Dark Knight. And even Ben Affleck's caped crusader was lauded for a spell. Some actors loved playing the characters so much that they had no desire to leave at all. Michael Keaton would have returned if Tim Burton hadn't left, and Adam West loved Batman so much he tried to buy the rights to make more movies, and when that didn't work he just made his own rip-off called Superbat. Seriously. However, there have been some performers who quite clearly despise their time walking in Wayne's shoes, or Batman boots, or both. And this led to them eventually choosing to leave the world of Gotham behind for good. George Clooney really didn't have a good time, for instance, and Ben Affleck has been pretty vocal on his struggles under the cowl. For a long time, it was thought that Val Kilmer fit in with the second crowd, as he regularly commented on how much he hated wearing the suit during his time as the titular hero in 1995's Batman Forever. And he even went as far as to define the entire process as a battering experience. He loves a good pun, Kilmer. Up-and-comer Clooney was eventually drafted in as his replacement for Joel Schumacher's sequel. Kilmer claimed this was due to him having scheduling conflicts, as he was also set to shoot The Saint around the same time that Batman and Robin went into production. Schumacher, on the other hand, referred to his former leading man as psychotic in an interview after Forever, leading many to believe that he'd actually been sacked from the upcoming project. Yet, during a recent in-depth interview with the New York Times, Kilmer may have just revealed the real reason why he gave up on the role of a lifetime. In the feature, Kilmer tells of a story involving himself, a batsuit, and a billionaire. Real-life business tycoon Warren Buffett arrived on set one day just when Kilmer was about to free himself from the restricting black leather costume. Apparently, Buffett had brought his kids along and they were all desperate to see Batman. I mean, who wouldn't be? So Kilmer obliged and stuck around in his full menacing getup. However, it soon became apparent that the kids had no interest in speaking to the Top Gun sensation. Probably on account of them being children and weird flyboy volleyball fetish movies not really being in their wheelhouse. They cared about one thing and one thing alone, the character of Batman, and they couldn't care less who was playing him. These kids wanted to wear the famous mask, sit in the front seat of the Batmobile, and probably throw some batarangs at unsuspecting crew members if they were given the chance to. It was in this moment that Kilmer realized that people wanted to see themselves in Batman, and Kilmer's job was therefore to be a blank canvas. In his own words, Kilmer said, "That's why it's so easy to have 5 or 6 Batmans. It's not about Batman. There is no Batman." Kilmer had spent his entire life fully immersing himself in roles, desperately trying to find the detail within the characters he was playing. It's what he trained to do in the prestigious drama division of the Juilliard School at the end of the day. Unfortunately, he realized during this exchange with a real-life version of his superhero alter ego that the titular Bat role required an actor to be as unspecific as possible, which is something he just didn't want to do. He looked the part and wore the suit as well as anyone had up until that point, but Kilmer clearly likened wearing the costume to torture. Once he had stripped away the cape and utility belt, he finally felt as though he was free to explore the human condition again. It didn't matter that Bob Kane himself said he was the best Batman on screen, it wasn't enough. Kilmer wasn't the first Batman to bail, he wasn't the most recent, and he might not be the last. However, you can't help but feel as though this exit was one infused with more bitter disappointment than the higher profile ones in Affleck and Keaton. They, after all, were decisions based on the quality of the movies and the production experience. Kilmer's was just a bit more personal. Clearly, Kilmer took on the role as he felt he'd been given an opportunity to flex his acting chops, and wanted to play in the sandpit which Tim Burton had set up in 1989's Batman and his fantastic follow-up Batman Returns. Yet, what he got was a frustrating experience on set, and damning realization that he was simply a lifeless body sitting behind the real star of the show. Since the days of over-the-top villains and bat nipples were brought to a merciful end, we've seen arguably the greatest ever depiction of the character in a feature series, in Bale's aforementioned portrayal throughout Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. Sadly, you can't help but wonder what Kilmer would have offered to the role if he'd been given a similarly gritty, authentic canvas to paint on. That's a scenario we'll probably never be able to see realized on the big screen. But at least the 25-year-old mystery behind why our forever Batman vanished into the darkness has finally been put to bed. And that has been exactly why Val Kilmer quit as Batman. Do not forget to like, share, click on that subscribe button and ring the bell for all things Whatculture.com, and also be sure to head on over to Whatculture.com and click on some more brilliant articles just like the one this video is based on. I have been Gareth from Whatculture.com, thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon.